Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Welcome back once again to the channel. You know it is JJ with you once again. If it's your first time here, hit the subs. If this is your first time here, hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. Don't forget about that notification bell. Today, I got my perfect little guest over here, Mr. Machine. Say hi, Mr. Machine.
Hello.
He's kind of under the weather, so he's listening in and putting his 2 cents in when he can, believe it or not. And also, too, he'll be on the live chat. So make sure y'all get down there and get on the live chat so we can get this going. Now, today we're going to be talking about ups and downs and everything else. And Cyborg, I see you put something in there about Mr. Bright09 and the tool that you need to turn off telemetry and everything else for Windows. And that's called Microsoft Win Toys. Kind of sounds like a verberation. You know what I mean by verberation. But yeah, it sounds like one of those toys. But no, not talking about that toy. We're talking about Microsoft Win Toys. It's been around for quite a long time. Everybody uses it. They had different variations of Win Toys called something else and something else, you know, called crap and something else. But I'm not going to be talking about that. And yes, Mr. Cyborg, you're right. Get your drinking snacks together, guys, because it's going to be a couple hour, maybe a little longer, since I haven't been out for a little bit. And the reason why I haven't been out for a little bit, here's the reason why. My PC was down. And when I mean down, I mean down. Means that I couldn't keep it going for 10 minutes at a time because the temperature was spiking over 100°C. 100°C. And I kind of found out the reason why. And it took me a while to figure out the reason why. First, I had to go through my 360mm AIO, just explaining to you guys what the story is. Hello there, Decody. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Mr. What we say there, Machine? What was his new nickname?
I can't remember now.
Mr. Linux Dakota?
Linux Lee.
Linux Lee. There we go. And we got you in there, Mr. Linux Lee. So, okay, here goes the story. I'm just going to tell you guys why you get your focus in there and what you want to talk about. But this is what I'm going to tell you what happened with my PC. First off, it started with, okay, I thought to myself, okay, temperature spiking, 360mm AIO. 3 months off of the shelf, brand new, 3 months old. Thinking to myself, what the hell is going on here? Okay, so didn't think nothing of it because the fans that were running on the 360mm AIO were the ones that were connected to my case fans. These fans right here. These are on a remote control. These are on a remote control. So I didn't notice that being on the 360mm AIO because they were on there and the remote control. So the airflow was going fine through there. Then I thought to myself, okay, well, if I can't find it on Windows, it must be a hardware related issue. So turn around, I took the pump off for the 360mm AIO. Thought the thermal paste was a little too dry. Repasted it, put it back on, did my benchmarks and everything else. Yes, I know, I shaved there, Cyborg. I shaved, yeah. I had to for certain personal reasons that I'm going to be doing on the sidelines kind of thing. It's kind of a personal reason. But, you know, keeping it into the professional reasons, just to let you know. But on the other hand, I repasted with some MX4, and I know you guys love the MX4, so, you know, I repasted with some of that, and if you don't believe me, there it is, the MX4 like usual. So, I repasted with that, thinking the 360mm AIO was fine. Ran the test again, 10 minutes later, boom, it was off to the races with the temperature. So I'm sitting there thinking to myself, okay, I have to turn my PC off, wait 15 seconds, turn it back on, and turn on OCCT, which has a monitoring tool on there. I use that to do this monitoring. Okay, so I thought to myself, okay, I just put fresh paste on here. Something's wrong. So I turned OCCT on, I put the monitoring tool on, and I scrolled down to look at the RPMs of the pump. This was my first clue. So I was watching the pump and everything else, and 10 minutes later, it stops. That was my first clue. And I thought the AIO was bad. So I said, screw it. So I have my 240mm AIO, which I just put in its place, repasted it, but instead of using the case fans that I had, I used the ones that went on to the 240mm AIO. So I did the testing all over again with the 240mm AIO after pasting and everything else. And I'm watching on OCCT the pump. Running it benchmark tested for 10 minutes. Sure enough, even with the 240mm AIO, it stopped. But also too, I noticed that the fans, the two fans that were on the 240mm AIO, which were connected directly to the motherboard, went from 1600 all the way down to 500 and was crawling. So I lose the pump RPM and I lose fan pressure. And I'm thinking to myself, what could it be? So I make sure I strolled over there to the good old BIOS to see if the fan curve was corrected or if there was a problem with the fan curve. Partially the problem is that the AIO pump in the BIOS has one set value on high. I mean, it's set on high, period. It's running at 3,200 RPMs. Can't be controlled. That was my first clue. Second clue was I tried to do an optimization on the pump, or the whole fan curve and everything. So I did a whole fan curve optimization on it. Did it correct the pump? No, it didn't correct the pump because somehow the BIOS was thinking everything runs in DC instead of PWM, so I had to set everything in PWM. So that was the second clue of what's going on. BIOS corruption. That's part of the problem. This is a multi-factor problem. So, what gave me that second clue was I ran a SSD test in the BIOS, which you can do, and you can pre-test your SSD, but it puts a little bit of a load onto the CPU. So, after 10 or 15 minutes of going through that, even in the BIOS, the pump stops. And I'm thinking to myself, oh my God. Now it's a BIOS issue. So, where I'm going with this now? So I said, okay, well, this has got to be I'm thinking to myself, this has got to be a multi-facet issue. So I went back into Windows again. And after 10 minutes, still giving me problems. This is all due to me putting in Windows Update, the newest one that was in there. This was a whole contributor to this problem. It was a contributor. It wasn't an SSD problem. This was a CPU overheating problem. So, now that I went through that and I'm thinking to myself, okay, how can I fix this problem? Last ditch effort I did was, I know everybody says that Armory Crate you shouldn't put in your PC because it's loaded with viruses and all that nonsense. That's if you log into Armory Crate on your PC. Becomes a risk. I did not log in to my Armory Crate on my PC. But I used Armory Crate to rebuild the fan controls. Armory Crate has it built in to their program, fan control. I know this. So I thought to myself, maybe that is the ticket. So, long story short, I'm here because I used that one thing to recorrect the fan control for Windows. But the BIOS still has an issue. So I'm waiting from Asus to come up with a new BIOS other than that beta crap they put in there. Because that's the only BIOS that's above the one I got now. It's a beta version, and I'm not putting that in. So I'm waiting for a full release version for the next, for that next. So I can put that in and recorrect the fan control in the BIOS. Because one, it seems that the fans on my graphics card stopped working too in the BIOS. So that means they're supposed to be on regardless. They're supposed to be on at 40% in the BIOS. But they weren't. They were off. And my graphics card was chooching so much heat, I had to turn it off. So the graphics card didn't overheat. So, a lot of problems I went through. But I think I got all of them resolved except for 2. Tell me what you guys think. What would you do in my shoes if you were stuck in that boat? Let me know in the live stream, or when the live stream's done and you watch it, you want to leave a comment on the live stream, you can. So it's easy to comment on a live stream. It's still a video. After it's done and over with, it's still a video, and you can still whatever. Machine, 2 cents on that. What do you think?
I don't know. We've talked about this kind of on and off for a little bit, but I don't know. It's definitely strange. I've never heard of anything like that before. Yeah. So it's weird that the BIOS got changed. To me, that should be, the BIOS should be solid. You set it, it stays that way until you change it.
Exactly.
But something happened, and if Windows can get into the BIOS and make changes at will, that's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's just strange.
And this only occurred when I put in that new update, which I can't pull out of the system. I mean, I did two rollback, what do you call it? Restores. I did 2 restores. I went in, also too, I went into the command prompt, checking to see if there's any problem with the files. The files are pristine from what it says. But it's just that fan control that Windows have wasn't controlling the fans at all. It was like it was set on a 10-minute timer, to where after 10 minutes they just fall off the face of the earth. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, you can't, this isn't happening. So after beating my head and everything else, I come up with the conclusion that I thought to myself, because I know I went through every bit of Armory Crate and the software, which way I was going to go with this. So I knew it had fan control in there, because it has expert fan control. Even though that, you can't use it on their little thingy anymore because they discontinued that. I really wish they would have left that alone. Really wished. Because that was better. That AI tuning suite they had, that was perfect. That was like less problems than Ryzen Master. Better tuning results in the long run, especially when you can tune everything from A to Z, from the BIOS to right there on Windows itself. So you didn't have to go into the BIOS, but they discontinued that. That is a shameful thing they did that. Shameful. Now, in order for me to correct this problem, I had no other choice but to put Armory Crate in and put the most updated version in. Right now, my temperatures are sitting at about 42 to 44 C. And we've been on the live stream for 20 minutes. So I've been testing for about 3 hours today, making damn sure it wasn't gonna put me into that boat again. I'm not open. I'll tell you what, I am not opening up Windows Update. It will remain closed. It will remain closed until Windows 11 25 H2 comes out on the ISO that I can download and take Rufus and build me a new ISO for 25 H2. This way I can put it on a separate PC and I can test it out to make sure it's solid before I decide to put it back in this PC again. Which I'm going to end up having to rebuild this whole one from scratch, which I really didn't want to, for the simple fact that where my PC, this PC here first started, was on Windows 10. Was updated to Windows 11 through the Windows Update. And it's been going ever since. With no problems until those stupid updates that Microsoft put in, which is mingling 25H2 with 24H2. So it caused a lot of issues, especially putting in absent drivers and expecting programs to run on absent drivers and absent DLLs and stuff like that. So, yeah. It's a zoo, what Microsoft created. So, Cyborg says maybe if the BIOS is stuffed by try reset to default settings in the BIOS. Good point. I thought about that too. I really did. But the thing is this, guys, comes down to the end of the day. I don't think that would have done anything. Because if it's a corrupted BIOS, no matter if you go to reset the BIOS now, with it being corrupted, you risk bricking your motherboard at this point in time. That's the reason why I was waiting for an update so it'll overlap the previous update. So basically, it has the information to move forward. But if you go to optimize the settings back to default settings, 9 out of 10 chances they might not go back to default settings. It might leave you with a limp motherboard. Can't afford to do that. So, yep. Well, of course you can, bro. You can comment on the video. It's not like you couldn't. Well, that's because of YouTube. Like I told you before, that's all in the control of YouTube, not me. So, Cyborg says, no problems here. I have been installing all Windows updates. Yeah, but I think I ran into another snag too. Is I took out 2 of them, but it didn't fully take them out. So that's kind of got me suspicious that those 2 that I took out, but they're only cumulative updates, but there are also updates for 25H2. Especially when Microsoft says their 24H2 and 25H2 are going to be exactly the same. They're going to be similar. So, yeah, buddy, that's telling me that when I took out those 2 updates, I kind of might have screwed the pooch there too. I don't know for sure, because it shouldn't act that way, because even when I put the newest update in, it should have had all those other updates mingled in with each other, so it should have just updated with no problem. Didn't happen. So, and I'm glad you're back, Winston. Good to see you once again there, Manor. I know you're listening on the live chat, because you're here on the voice chat with us, which we're live chatting as well. So, all right, cool, man. You're all good, no worries. We're all good, no worries. We're all gonna be cranking, no worries. Where'd he go over there, bro? Machine?
I'm here.
Where'd Winston go? He was just on there, man.
I don't know. He's on the live stream, so.
Okay.
Be okay. It'll be okay.
It will be alright. It'll be okay. Okay. So, you guys know that I could have stuck myself into this bad boat. But also, too, there was rumors going on about the SSDs between the KB506-2660 and KB506-3878. So I'm thinking to myself, well, if they're the problem, why don't I just take them out? I did take them out partially, but not all the way. Obviously. So, And Winston, I know you're here, but remember, we're live. Keep it clean. That's all I got to say. If we're off the air, then that's a different story. But we're on the air, so we got to keep it real. So, thinking that I wouldn't have a problem if I took out the 2 updates, but they still remained in the Windows Update folder. I thought they were removed. They didn't go anywhere. They're like pasted on. Everybody says, oh, they're cumulative and critical updates. So they mixed 2 updates into one. Actually, they mixed 3 updates into one. One for cumulative, one for critical, and one for the update for 25H2. Yeah. But finding out that the SSD problem wasn't an actual problem. It was actually an early release problem that they had given, what they say, engineering samples out to people, and they gave them the engineering sample drivers. So something in the Microsoft update for KB 5063878 triggered a bad cascade effect on the SSDs, and all they had to do is go in and update the firmware to fix the problem before it became damaging. So that's when it come up to that part. Hey, Fake Frames, good to see you, man. Good to see you. I see there's a lot of rumors and things going on around town. So I want to hear what you guys got to talk about. What you've been hearing, what's going on. Put your ear to the floor and what you've been hearing lately. Or what questions have it been brought up to your mind that you want answered? We always wonder what you guys wonder. That's the reason why it's Open Mic Mayhem. And Jay, drop the mic. Now it's up to you guys to tell me what you got cooking. The mic has been dropped. The 9080 XT. Is this a new one? Machine, we got a 9080 XT now?
It's they talk about higher stuff all the time and they never release anything, so nothing new.
Is not releasing this generation. Winston, did you figure out your microphone issue?
I hear him.
Is it still messing up?
Well, no, not now. We can hear you now. So, the only card I want to see released this year is the Intel Arc B770 with around 7800 XT. Standards, basically, you would say standards. Performance, give or take. Look, if it's the 4070, the 6800 XT, the 7800 XT, and any one of those around that factor, I even want to see integrated graphics make it to that front line. Which we know they will. They're working on it. I know you're going to say that. I know they're working on it. But just to see Intel come up with the perfect driver series for the B770 and have it run. How can I say this, guys? You want to fill in the blank here? Meticulous, kind of. God, you guys got quiet quick. So we can articulate what's going on here. But yeah, I do agree with you. Those drivers got to be pristine and convincing that they will play all the games with perfection. That's what we want to see from Intel with the B770. We don't want another rundown like they did with the A770. We really don't. Or the A750. We don't want that kind of rundown. We want it, how you guys say it, balls to the wall kind of thing. I know I wasn't supposed to say that on YouTube. I did anyway, so what? Don't quote me on it. How about that? So, yeah, I do agree with that. So. Is there anything you guys want to add to that discussion about Intel?
It'll be interesting to see if the B770 actually comes out, and if it does, what it will compare to, and the price, of course. So, if he says it'll be the same performance around a 7800 XT, and they can keep it cheap enough, probably below 400, it might be something to buy. Maybe, but I mean, probably 350, 100 more than the B580. But I'm no expert when it comes to all that stuff. But if they want to sell a ton of them, they have to produce enough of them, which they didn't do first time around, and then they have to sell it at a good price if they want to have a whole bunch of them out there. So, but they're doing it at the wrong time because the supers are coming out.
Right.
So this would be really good to have right around April. But, you know, I guess it's better to be late than not show up. So,
Mr. Prism, if you like to join us on the discussion of the live chat while we're doing a live video on YouTube, you're more than happy to join us because we got 3 in the group right now. If you want to become the 4th, become the 4th. And
now, I saw a video on the B580 with Borderlands 4, and it did pretty well at 1440p. But of course, you needed upscaling and frame generate to make it work. But it did well for a $250 GPU. I was impressed.
Right.
100%. A 13700K was used as a CPU. So, impressed by that.
Mm-hmm. I don't think it's so much about the CPU that's the problem. I think what everybody's going around is, we talked about this earlier in Machine. We talked about the fact of the CPU is a crucial part for computation. But the more crucial part you got is the divide between the CPU and your GPU, which they call the bottleneck. So if you can minimize that divide between the two, I'm sure it will run a lot better and more efficient. That's what you want. So, let's see.
I think the game engine has a lot to do with it as well. Because Unreal Engine 5 is so hard to run. I mean, with all the Lumen,
Yeah.
it's just, I think that given a little bit more time, it'll run well.
It took me a while.
I'm not too, truthfully, I'm not too fascinated on the Lumen. I'm really not. Because I mean, it's just what lighted shadows,
I'm
basically.
not quite sure how it works.
To me, it kind of looks like lighted shadows. Like, you know how you got the light behind the shadows and it's supposed to brighten up certain areas and stuff like that. I know you guys are
I
going to say
wonder.
it. I know you guys are going to say that it's not that way, but to me, the way I looked at it, it just looked like it's illumination.
I wonder why the B580 does better than the 5060. It's got to have something to do with the way it's designed.
Well, the 5060's got 8 gigabytes of VRAM, and
but it doesn't use it all. If you keep it under 8 gigabytes of VRAM, the B580 still does better.
Yeah, but it does. See, the B580 does poorly when it comes to rasterization, but when it comes to ray tracing, it does a lot better.
Maybe that's
because
the 5060.
Yeah, the 5060. You're looking at the 5060 is not as great as you think it is. But you're looking at, when you look at the B580, B580 is more beefed up on rasterization than anything. Just like with Intel, with AMD, my bad. They're more hyped up on the rasterization because people tend to fall more to that rasterization because they know when they kick on ray tracing, they lose all that FPS. And some people don't like to lose that FPS because that's like a little cushion. So they like to have the more FPS. They'll sacrifice a little bit of visualization for that FPS, believe it or not. Some people.
Winston, since you have the game, I got a question for you. So on your 6750 XT, how much you're playing 1080p? What's your how much VRAM are you using?
I have no clue. I can tell you.
Okay. I'm just curious.
The only reason why I don't want to using or how to actually typically run. I mean, either way, the only problem I've had since I played the game when it goes idle, which it crashes. That's the only problem. Like, not really even a problem, I guess. It crashes when it's idle. I normally can have Fortnite up and it not crash at all. I can have it up there for a week and it not crash.
So it's more or less crashing on the game is more of an issue.
What's your FPS when you play the game again?
So it averages for so it depends on the area I'm in. So
okay.
Like maybe from I want to say all grassy, maybe one. Yeah.
What is it? 100?
No, about 120 to 100. About 55, but when it's all in the open, it goes as high as 175.
And you're running what settings at 1080p?
I don't know.
Like medium? Probably medium settings, right?
It's already high.
High, because you're running high settings and you're running the DLSS, you're running FSR quality? Balanced, okay. And then you have frame gen on in the game, correct?
Yeah.
And then you have the back end frame gen on as well.
Yeah.
Well, see, you guys got to give a little bit more context to what you're talking about. See, if I remember right, with Winston's computer, he's got the 11th gen processor, correct?
11700.
11700. And then you're running it with the 6750 XT, right?
Yeah.
And what kind of motherboard are you using?
The gigabyte motherboard.
Well, is it it's... Yeah. So that's the LGA 1200 series? And you're using how much RAM? Or how much RAM do you have total with your system?
Oh, yes, 24.
You have 24 gigabytes of system RAM.
Okay.
So Putting all that together, you got a system that definitely does the job, basically.
He's running three sticks of RAM.
Yeah, but it still does the job.
Runs.
I know it takes a little bit of fine tuning on some PCs now these days, especially with a little bit older hardware. You got to do a little bit more fine tuning, but in the long run, when you're playing your game, it's well worth it, because some of the older hardware is good, just as good as the newer hardware. I don't know what, I'm not going to knock older hardware. I got a test bench here that's got a 13-year-old processor in there with a 2-year-old motherboard. Okay, but it still will play games, period. Even though that it is a server-grade processor and using server-grade RAM, but it runs real good. That's all I can tell you. Let's see what you guys are talking about on the live chat here. Let's see. VRAM capacity is an issue. Yeah, we all talked about that. Something with the 5060, that's going to be a big issue. But not on the... If you're looking on the B580, that's not a problem.
Horribly optimized. It was not even ready to be out.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're getting cartoon graphics, that's like 2D section. So, yeah. I do agree with that, Cyborg. Fake frames, I do agree with that.
I mean, even 5090 is having trouble running Borderlands 4.
Right. See, but Fake Frame says newer hardware isn't the solution for performance for Borderlands 4. No, the devs are the solution. If they'd fixed the whole concept of what they're doing, and make little tweaks here and there to make it more user friendly, then I think they would have a better time.
Well, yeah, good luck. The creator of the game pretty much said it's fine, and
yeah, you use more DLSS. Yeah, I got the point. I seen that.
Much said, yeah, if you got older hardware, then the game is.
But Fake Frame says, do you honestly think that a 6080 is going to be faster than a 5090? Because I don't think so. Well, probably not. Yeah, he's got it right. Probably not, because they're going to be using the 6090 and the 6080 more towards machine learning. Just a rumor. I'm not going to take it with a grain of salt. Okay, it's just a rumor I heard that it's going to be able to do a little bit of gaming, but it's not going to be impressive gaming because they're moving towards the AI machine learning thing. So,
I'll load my Borderlands 4 up right now.
Right. But, I mean, we really want to know, is Borderlands 4 that chopped up to where it's not worth buying? That's the question.
No, it's not. It's not that chopped up. You like, okay, yes, people with the newer hardware.
So it comes down to basically supported hardware.
Yeah, pretty much.
Basically, they don't put the right support in there for the 5090 or the 5080 or the 5070 or so on. That they're using, that they're doing. If I remember right, what was that game? That driving game. that had that same issue.
Forza Horizon?
It was a driving game. I can't remember. They had that same issue to where. Oh no, it was the Star Wars one, the Outlaws. Remember when it first came out and people were trying to crank it up on the 4090 and they were having issues with it?
Yeah, I was getting like 60 FPS.
Yeah, this is the same kind of issue. Not saying it is the same, but it's kind of in that same generalization. So, but when it comes to the end of the day, once they fix the games to fine tune it and get the, make it running right for all graphics cards, then this having a 5080, a 5090, or the 6000 Pro, or the 6080, or the 6090 is going to be a thing of the past. Because people are going to be able, if they had the chance, using older graphics cards, being able to play the newer games is going to be the new attraction to the PC world. People want to know if they could use a 6950 XT that's got balls to the wall speed. Why can't they use it like they do, the 4070 Ti? Or the 7900 XT? In speed wise, not talking about VRAM wise, I'm just talking about speed wise. Why can't they get it together? Oh, like they tried to do, and now they're trying to do what? FSR 4 on graphics cards that are FSR 3?
Well, all the way down to the 6000 series, FSR 4 will work. Supposedly. I wouldn't mind seeing it done on like a 6800 or the 69.
Yeah.
It looks like.
Bro, I'm skeptical about that. Because of the amount of the architecture, I'm going to be skeptical about it because of the architecture. I mean,
I am pulling about 125 FPS right now.
And it feels good. No, you're not getting any latency.
Oh no, I have ever since we took that 30 minutes to go through the settings and whatnot, my game runs smooth as fuck. Let me rephrase what I was going to say. Smooth, very smooth. I'm just going to say smooth because I can't think of another word. I have no problem.
It looks good. Game looks good.
Oh yeah.
Well,
okay.
I'm going to tell you guys like this. The glass for my case, it's not on. I'm heat testing it while I'm doing live streaming, so I'm trying to see if the components with this off, if they're going to get heat soak. Because there's basically, you're taking the air you would blow on them, because having that door on channels that air through there. I'm actually just I'm letting it heat soak and see where the problem is. Is it actually the VRMs of the motherboard? It's what I'm trying to isolate, or is it just the software? And that's why I got this thing here.
Well, Randy Pitchford said that he's not gonna do that many updates on it when it comes to fixing any of the issues.
I mean, the only issue the only update they've dropped so far is something to do with the PC.
Right. They did little small update for certain GPUs that were having a hard time.
There's my VRM temp right there. 36.1. So, and my CPU temp is like 44, 45C. And my GPU temp is 34C. Well, goddamn, you telling me that all I had to do was stick in an armored crate to fix this damn problem? Oh my god. Spending 8 hours trying to pinpoint the problem, which I could have put in about 15 minutes. Unbelievable, you know? So, but we still got a problem in the BIOS. And I don't think shifting it back to optimized setting at default is going to fix the issue. I think it's going to it's going to aggravate the situation even more. So I just don't want to make it a bad situation right now because the PC is running good. So I'm going to leave it like that until a new BIOS comes out that's, 100% ready to go. And then I'm going to update the BIOS in the motherboard, and that should correct that problem. That's what I'm hoping for. So, because when you rewrite the drivers to the new set of drivers, and all the controls and everything else goes along with that to the new update, so it overwrites the old ones, so it should fix that the motherboard problem, because it sets it back to default when you update the BIOS. So no sense of me setting it back to default when I know I'm going to put in my next BIOS. So what motherboard do I got? I got the Asus ROG Strix B550-A gaming motherboard. Not gay, gaming. I know you guys are going to say something about that. So, no, it's gaming, not gay. Back in the day, it's a good motherboard. Don't get me wrong, it was a good motherboard. But what screwed this up and screwed the pooch was the Microsoft update. I think that was KB506 5434 or something. Jeez, I gotta look. See, I got too many numbers in my head, guys. I can't keep up on everything. So I'm human. I'm not saying I'm perfect, but I'm not saying I'm not neither. So it's KB 506 5426 was the issue. So that was the one that I put in, and it's been giving me problems ever since. And I've been fighting against this damn BIOS update. Or not BIOS update. Might as well be a BIOS update because it's affecting the BIOS too. So B550 most probably won't get an update with them not making them anymore. They have to, because it's still under warranty. And if they don't, they know they can be sued because they're still under warranty. And it's still active. So as long as it's active, doesn't matter if it's in production or not, they still have to support it. You guys disagree with that? Just like with NVIDIA, they discontinued the 40 series. It's not in production anymore, but they're still supporting it with the software. So even though that the hardware might be, discontinued, they still have to support the software. And it includes the BIOS firmware. They still have to support that for at least a couple years. I think it was like somebody told me they have to support it for at least three to 4 additional years. Something like that. But they still have to support it. There's motherboards that are older than dirt and they still get a BIOS update. So come on, guys. It's not rocket science. It's just waiting for them to make it available. That's not a beta, and that's what I'm waiting for. So, when you guys are quiet tonight, either that or you guys falling asleep on like I do. I already fell asleep 2 times on Machine when he was on the phone with me, you know. I felt he hearing me snoring and everything else. I bet you. Am I wrong, Machine?
It's that monotone voice of mine.
It's that monotone voice. Bleh. Yeah, like he said.
I'm still here. I'm just trying to figure something out.
Uh-oh.
My feelings being hurt all day long with my PC getting all dang non-strong. So, I've been working on this railroad, and I feel like Microsoft shafted my ass. So, you know, I'm going to tell you, I'm not happy with their updates. So, I feel that I'm going to be best in line when it comes to just waiting for the operating system to come out on their website. So I can download it, send it to a flash drive via Rufus, and after I get everything set inside the PC and write down everything that I got inside my PC when it comes to the stuff. Just the operating system, not on the rest of my drives, because they'll be disconnected when I go and do whole new operating system uplift. I really did not want to do that, but it looks like with the driver corruption or DLL file corruption or system file corruptions that I had with this update, which told me I had over almost 1,500 errors on my PC. Corruption errors. I know I looked in the, what do you call it, the viewer? Event viewer. I looked in the event viewer and it showed me that many corruption errors. So, you tell me why this update gave me that many errors. Not one person that I know of that are technicians could give me that answer. They said to me they didn't know. They had no idea that an update would do such damage to a person's PC. Yeah, believe it or not. So.
Hey, Jay.
Yes, sir.
Lisa Sue is going to be doing the keynote for CES 2026.
Aren't they supposed to be doing a November skit?
It's going to be January.
Yeah, but they're supposed to be doing something in November.
I haven't seen anything on that.
Lisa Sue is supposed to be doing an event in November because they were talking about releasing a new CPU.
Oh, it says press statement talks about Sue's keynote in broad terms, but also touching on specific areas of tech, hinting that there will be a focus for whatever AMD has planned for the CPU and GPU, Radeon and Ryzen products.
Yeah, because they're not going to have that much of an option anymore. Because now Microsoft is pushing them towards AI. So they have to come out with something new that's going to start supporting this. I don't know how much longer x86 CPUs are going to be supported. Especially when they're moving towards ARM processors. So I don't know how much more that they can squeeze out of x86. I don't think they can squeeze much more. I think they need to buckle down and come out with a new processor, CPU processor. x86 after 40 some years is tired. It's time to come into 2025 and 2026 to something new. Something.
Hey, you asked about my RAM, how much RAM it uses, right?
Yeah.
VRAM, yeah.
My GPU VRAM? Or my...
Yes. Yes.
My utilization is 15.6 gigabytes.
Now that's your system RAM.
And Cyborg, yes, you are right, my friend. It's not going to be long. Was it October, November, or was it October or November? They were going to launch 25H2. I think they were going to launch 25H2 after they discontinue Windows 10 and Windows 11 23H2. They wanted to get those two off of their plates so they can take and make 25H2. So they don't have any more problems. They'll have 24H2, which is intermixed with 25H2. So basically, you're getting 24H2 second edition. You know how they did Windows 98? They did 98 and 98 second edition? That's basically like Windows 11 24H2 second edition, basically. So they might as well just say it's 24H2 second edition. That's the only thing that makes sense to everybody. So that's just my thought. And I want to hear you guys, more of your guys' thoughts. And what's going on in the gaming world over there? Machine, Winston.
He's probably using around 10 gigabytes of VRAM is my guess.
And everybody in the live stream, guys, get in there, speak your mind, speak your piece. Just keep it clean, though. You know, we don't want YouTube to get into their panties in a bunch. So try to keep it as clean as you can.
GPU memory that I'm using right now, out of 24, is 8.5.
No, it's system. Yeah, that's your system RAM.
So I'm looking at my GPU.
Your GPU doesn't have 24 gigabytes of VRAM. That's 12.
Oh, well, I'm under the GPU option, not memory. So.
You know, it'd be nice since they got 4090 coming out with 48 gigabytes of VRAM. They get it from China. It's kind of hacked in, but I would like to see the 4070 with 24 gigabytes of VRAM. And that's the 4070.
Dedicated GPU memory. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. What do you got?
Oh, 7.8. So I wasn't. Again, I still wasn't so far. Still wasn't that far off.
Okay.
So I guess an average is 8 of the game while I'm actually running the game.
You guys want to explain to everybody on YouTube what you're doing?
Oh, I was seeing how much the RAM my 6750 XT was using while playing the game.
Or Borderlands 4.
Yeah, Borderlands 4, and it uses 8. Well, really 7.8.
That's at 1080p high settings with 2
high medium settings.
Okay.
But either way, I'm not having no problems anymore. So.
Okay.
Besides, when I leave it on idle, it's
Yeah.
the only time it crashes. I have not experienced a crash yet.
I wonder if that's an Unreal Engine 5 issue.
No, that's a Windows issue because it's not calculating the idle time limit. It's not calculating correctly the idle time limit. So basically, you use a certain amount of FPS when you're sitting at an idle time. So you should be using like 20 to 25 FPS when you're sitting at idle. If you're in game, you should be using between the minimal 20 to 25 FPS. Because I know on OpenGL, when I'm sitting idle in Second Life, it sits at a 20 FPS idle screen. The reason why is because when you click off of the screen, it sits at idle at that certain FPS. Still has to run. You still got to use FPS when you're sitting idle on a game. You're still using FPS.
So it jumped up to 8.8. I was actually in the menu. I thought I was in game, but it jumped to 8.8.
That's 9. Not bad.
So everybody in the chat, what is it you don't like about Borderlands 4? This is going to be called the honesty game. Be honest. If you've never tried it, before, don't be too honest. But if you've tried it, what is it you don't like about it? I'm just trying to find out what people do or don't like about it, you know? What do you guys think?
Spyware.
I don't think so, because every single platform, including Steam, has they log what you're doing. So every single one of them does it. Epic does it. Who else? The other ones, they all do it. So
yeah, they all do it.
I mean, they can't steal a whole bunch of your stuff. That would be against the law, and if they do it and get caught, major lawsuits. So I just think it's just part of what's normal now.
Yeah, but you know what Dakota said? Dakota said it's spyware.
Is it?
He says Borderlands is spyware. ABC, good to see you. Welcome to the channel. Welcome back to the live stream once again. We know we seen you in there last time. Now we see you in here again. Last Borderlands I played was 2. Okay.
AMD reveals a Ryzen 5 5600F.
Yeah.
Brand new CPU for AM4.
Yeah. That's because they're losing money. That's the reason why they're doing this. Cyborg says, I have never liked The cartoon graphics. Yeah. Well, back in the 80s, that was good.
That's not all. If we're still talking about Borderlands 4, you can turn it off and make it where it's just me, by the way. There's so many ways to turn it off.
Fake Frame says the story is not very good, but I don't like that it's always online and has a very bad ant temper. Okay.
Anti-tamper.
Oh, you mean like you're talking about that game cheat stuff? Anti-tamper, that means the anti-cheat. That's what you're talking about. ABC says, living in the United Kingdom, I can't complain. Well, no, don't need to. As long as you're happy there, that's all that matters. If you're not, then you need to come over to the United States and hear all the rest of everybody else complain. So yeah, there's a lot of complaining everywhere, so it is what it is.
Randy Pitchford is hilarious.
Dakota. Oh, Dakota said this. Dakota said this. I trust Steam with my data, and I do not trust some game developers to be responsible with my information. No, they just sell it to make money. That's all. It's nothing to worry about. They just sell it to make money.
So, Randy Pitchford said the minimum and recommended specs are published. The most common hardware is a 4-year-old cell phone. Borderlands 4 is a premium game made for premium gamers, just as Borderlands 4 cannot run on a PlayStation 4. It cannot be expected to run on
PC.
Too old PC hardware. Unlike on PlayStation and Xbox, we cannot prevent a PC player with suboptimal hardware for the game to try to play it. So some try and get mad. And some have actual issues we need to fix. And some need to learn how their PCs work on the high end for this specific game in 2025 and use the tools available to them to find the right balance between frame rate, resolution, and graphics features.
Just basically put, if your PC cannot run it, you're shit out of luck.
Yep. This game is not made to run on 10-year-old PCs. This game uses full capacities of modern bus, CPU, and GPU. If you're trying to drive a monster truck with a leaf blower motor, you're going to be disappointed.
Yep.
If you discover your system can't run the game well by accident or wishful thinking and or don't want to try to mess with settings to make things look good enough for you, please use the refund feature on Steam rather than have a subpar experience.
Yeah, because
I agree.
yeah, you know why they did that, right? Because they don't want a bad review from Steam.
Well,
because
they're getting that anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're already getting that.
They're getting slam blasted, yeah.
And here Fake Frame says it's an encryption that is always running when it is not needed for single player games. ABC says with the online the Online Slobberly Act, no, I mean Safety Act, I can't complain. It's like living in North Korea. Well, I'll tell you what. Over here in
my comrade ABC, my comrade.
Yeah.
My comrade.
Over here in the United States, it's called giving somebody the middle finger.
Yeah.
If they don't like what you have to say. And that's just the end of the ball game.
It's not meant to run on a $4,000 PC without DLSS and frame generation.
Even
come on, big frame.
even a $6,000 PC couldn't push it. You know how many? You know for $6,000 how many hookers you can get? Seriously?
Oh my god.
I mean, you think about it.
Depending on how high the export you want.
I mean, if you think about it, you can spend $5,000 to rent a house for a whole year. You can. $5,000, you can rent a whole house for a whole year. So, end of the day is it really worth buying the game? Can I say this? You guys want to hear the answer to this? Y'all want to hear the answer to it? Y'all really want to know the answer to being screwed when it comes to gaming because they can't optimize them correctly? While they're going home counting their money from the bank that you spent towards them, they're giving you the finger and laughing in your face saying, ha ha ha, we got your money. Ain't nothing you can do about it because you ain't getting nothing back. Because 9 out of 10 chances, 89 to 92% of the people are not going to ask for a refund. They're just going to keep rocking with the game, hoping it's going to fix itself. And when they find 10 years down the road that it didn't fix itself, that's the company behind your back, looking over the side of your neck, giving you a big fucking finger and telling you to go piss off.
Pretty much.
We got your money, you're playing our shitty game, and that's the end of story.
I mean, how about the $130 version?
So, you want to know the truth? There's the truth. You don't need a high-end PC to play a game. You just need high-end knowledge to take and balance your PC to play high-end games.
Borderlands 4 is the new Crisis. Yep. True.
I played Crisis. I have the original sets. They're on my shelf for Crisis. They're on CDs. I think they're what, the 2001 CDs? Or
That CD 2001?
I think so. I think they're from 2001. For the original Crisis.
I'd have to look at there's a CES event that he said this will even run Crisis. What's his name from NVIDIA?
What, Jensen?
Jensen, yeah. He said this will even run Crisis. It might have been the 2000 series when they came out. I can't remember.
So you gotta remember, Crisis ran with physics 32-bit. No, I think, yeah, it did. It came out with the physics 32-bit.
How much is that game right now? I'm going to look it up. Crisis. I've never played it.
I played it.
Oh, it's
Oh, you talking about
remastered.
Crisis?
Yeah.
I played all three of them. Alright, what are we talking about in the older game?
Crisis
No.
Remastered is $30.
I got the original Crisis with the original CDs when it
Crisis
first came out.
And
That was only like $19.99 from Walmart.
NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1660 Ti. AMD Radeon Vega 56.
Let's see, reading back. So we read everything out tonight. The game isn't meant to run a 5090 and 9800X 3D either, according to Logic. Well, you know, and I hate to tell you, your computer build is only going to use the resources it needs until you go and add more to the resources, so you can pretty much run anything you want when it comes to a PC, as long as it can handle with the resource usage. So it's like a car. It's like a car. The battery is only going to accept 13.8 volts. Let's say it runs on 13.8. You're wondering how come it's not getting 14.4 volts. Well, it's not going to give you anything until you put some usage to it. And it's limited usage, so basically it'll pull what it needs to stay alive. Your computer, when it comes to the games, only pulls what it needs to stay alive. But if you're asking your computer to pull more than what it can recommend, then obviously you're going to get into the frame bull crap of stuttering and artifacting and stuff like that, because your GPU can't handle it can't handle the performance of the CPU. CPU is bottlenecking your GPU, making your GPU run through the roof, and it's not giving you enough to get you past that point. So, the only one that can really run as far as CPU that can really run the numbers is the 9950 X3D. That's the best of the best they got of CPUs on the market today. So, if you're asking for that right there with the 5090, you guys should have automatic control with Borderlands 4. It should never give you a problem. But obviously it says, well, you know, it's only running, the program's only running about 30 FPS.
Browning and the Warren Red have been known to their all contrast fire on like the avenue. School caught fire on power lines, fell to the ground, igniting part of the yard on fire. What?
Well, it comes down to it all. I'm just gonna say it comes down to it all, guys. At the end of the day, you want software to run correctly. Software is becoming a pain in the neck right now because they're mixing so many things up at the same time. Big bowl of soup, and you don't know what's going to be inside it, so you don't know how it's going to taste or anything else, because they keep sending you on a wild goose chase when it comes to your hardware. Your software has become now a track and field mission when it comes to finding the proper drivers and everything else. It's became a total pain in the butt. People don't want that anymore. People want up-to-date stuff ready to go walking out the door. It's hard to find it now these days, because now they stop manufacturing on certain parts. So where are they going to get them from? They're going to get them from China, which pulls them off of old motherboards and everything else, just to give you premium parts for refurbishment. And when they refurbish their GPUs over there. So, makes you guys wonder now, don't it? How much refurbished crap do you have in your PC, even though that they say it's brand new? Think about it. And when you get done think about it, let me know what you're thinking. So, just Randy Pitchford, just buy a Threadripper and the RX and RX 6000 Quadro, bro. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
$20,000 PC will run my game without upscaling or frame gen. 60 FPS.
So, let's see. Buy an RTX 6000 Pro and 9950X3D, or don't buy our game. Basically, yes. It's as crazy as it gets, but if you want the best of the best, you're going to spend, what, $10,000 for a 6000 Pro? And then you're going to spend, what, $600-700 for the CPU, and you're going to spend close to $1,000 for the motherboard. You start adding up all this, how much the product cost, and how much you're really going to get out of usage. You're going to treat it like gold, and you're not going to want to use it for anything else other than what you designated on the first run. So, who knows? How's Northwest Repair say this? Or is that who you call it, Northwest Repair? He says, who knows? Who cares? I'm like, dude says who knows and who cares? You know, it's like you throw it out there and you're hitting the moon. So, who knows and who cares? Does anybody really care? If they really cared, then obviously they would needing never to send crap to the consumer that they don't need. You don't need crap. You need a basic system with the capabilities to play the games with no problem. And you can't get that because you got this program here, this program here. You got so many different programs. So many different programs. Balled up into Windows. That if you go to remove something, guess what? The operating system takes a dump on you, and guess what? You're now cleaning your shoes up because guess what? The operating system said no, 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 no more. You have to go somewhere else. And basically that's what it comes down to. It comes down to the matter of, do you really got a great PC, or is it just a plain old Hershey Kiss in your toilet? So that's what it comes down to. Is it really worth the price that you paid for it? Hell no. If you paid more than $2,000 for a PC, you got screwed. Do I need a 5080 or a 5090? Do I need a 5070 Ti or a 5070? Do I need a 5060 Ti or a 5060 Ti, the 8 or 16 gigabyte? Or do I need a 5050? No. None of that crap. I got a 4070. Happy with it. Never had to take it out of the PC until today. No, it was yesterday and today. This is the only time I took this graphics card out of this PC. You guys ask why? Well, there was never no reason or need to. The RAM, 64 gigs of RAM, it's been in there. This motherboard combo, it's been together for a long time. So, end of the day, only had one problem. Software problem, which stemmed into the BIOS for some reason, had some unlock in the BIOS and injected some kind of mystery code. And how I corrected it, all I did was I added in Armory Crate to rebalance the software, and it worked. Now I got a computer that's running normal again. Machine says this is fine. I got you, bro. It is. So, what else have we got going on here? ABC says Borderlands 4 is the new Crisis, which is, yeah, we talked about it. ABC says, I miss the old PC gaming package. We all do. Because they were limited. They didn't have 100 gigabytes of taking up space. What, maybe 6 or 7 gigabytes of space? Well worth it to do a little bit of upgrade. Downfall is this. Was it really worth it? Did you get the speed you want? Did you get the kind of gaming you want? That you seen your friend's gaming device and you looked at yours and say, I want something better, kind of thing. So you have to make up your mind what you want, when you want, and where you want when it comes to your PC. So, guys, did you understand that, or did it not make sense? Machine.
Borderlands and Rainbow Six is doing well.
Oh, I was sneezing.
Oh,
Up on my
yeah.
sorry.
What you guys tell me? Do you think it's fair for them to take the assets of a game and shove it 100 gigabytes of assets into your PC? That's not fair. Why can't they do that on their servers? And just let you remotely work off of their servers through an app? Why do you got to constantly download the game? That's the key question. Why? Why is it that those games are taking up so much assets in your PC that you're having a hard time getting all the games in because you don't have a big enough hard drive? Well, you see us paying like almost $400 for top of the line hard drives. Is it really worth the price of admission? No, it's not. So, it's a decision you have to make. It's your decision, your PC, and your know-how. All I'm telling you guys is this. I can lead you to the water, but I can't make you drink. Simple. Ain't that right, guys? Machine? Winston?
Winston's playing his game.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
Hey, Winston.
But
Twitch has drops for skins. Just so you
yeah,
know.
I know weapon skins. I'm not really worried about it.
So, but guys, I wanted to just touch some base on this and want you guys to tell me what you think. Have you had a problem with the Windows updates from Microsoft? Have you had any issues whatsoever?
Hey, Winston, did you update your Windows all the way?
Yeah.
No issues? It's like you have the brand new one that just came out a week ago.
Yeah.
Well, interesting.
I'm just curious to see how many people have had problems with Windows and what they had to do to try to get it fixed. But this is open mic, guys. I did drop the mic and I did say this is open mic. So if you do want to get in here, then get in here, you know.
If anybody has anything else they want to ask about anything at all.
If you have something you want to add or you want something you want to mention, that's what we're here doing tonight, is opening up the discussions.
Yep.
So it's not one-way window tonight.
Milo has come out of retirement.
Milo.
Yeah.
Which one's that one?
Charlie Kirk, but on steroids.
Okay.
And no filter.
Oh, Milo, the guy, the British guy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that dude is unreal. Good.
Dude, yeah, after Charlie Kirk death, he came out on so, yeah, that should be funny. I can't talk, man.
Well, I was sitting there thinking to myself, maybe it's not all about the hardware. Maybe it's about all the complexity they've been throwing in the software, making it harder for the hardware to work, but filtering all that excess kind of bogus stuff they put in there. You can actually kind of bypass a couple things if you decide to take and go a different route, which I would go a different route when it comes to this little bit of Microsoft update. A little thing that turned into a big nightmare. It's what it turned into. You guys can say any, you guys can let me know what you're thinking. Machine and Winston.
What's up?
You guys can say what you're thinking, but try to keep it clean, though.
Yeah.
Well, I'm trying to understand I'm trying to tell you guys from my point of view, the problems I had with Microsoft Update. Just one update and total hell. That's on my end.
I just found something. The Windows 11 24H2 update has caused other conflicts that can affect any system, including those with AM4 CPUs.
Yep.
AM4 platform experienced performance issues, compatibility problems when Windows 11 first launched. It says to prevent provincial conflicts and improve performance, it's always a good practice to install the latest AMD chipset drivers for your motherboard directly from AMD website.
Right.
Have you done that yet? Well, yours is running now.
Well, that's the thing. AMD come up with a new set of drivers for the chipset. I'm trying to figure, is it a trigger that's on a different level? Could be. Possibly. That we got into a trigger issue. And
system instability and VSODs. Users on both AM4 and Intel platforms has reported increased system instability. In some cases, removing the update has fixed the issue. EPM errors. AM4 systems. Interesting.
Right.
Yeah, I'm just looking it up, see if anything else has been reported for AM4 in particular.
Right. I can tell you guys this, and also too, just put this in a little bit of a back of your mind kind of thing, that there's rumors and talks about the Super Series from NVIDIA is not going to come out until next year in January. So just keep that in mind as you're trying to figure out what you're trying to do with the operating system compared to your hardware. Could be a problem with program compatibilities, driver compatibility with your hardware to software, because Microsoft is working on the fact of a better recovery option when it comes to trying to recover your PC's files and stuff, that they might decide to poke their nose into your business and help you there when it comes to that. So, we don't know yet. The fix, go into the BIOS, find the VMD option, and disable it entirely. VMD is normally under the advanced settings system agent configuration. Boot into Windows 11, media USB on the install screen to do repair PC. Go into System Restore before update. Uninstall the latest quality updates. Step 3, Step 4, and Step 5 are on the USB.
Interesting.
Yeah. I don't know. I think my easy fix worked just fine. So far,
Seemed to work.
so far I'm not over 44C. I'm still between 42 and 43C. So I'm good. I'm balanced. So there's no sense of me changing everything when it's not going to be necessarily required to do that. It would be if there was a problem to where I was running over 100C again, then that can become a problem. Another problem too is trying to get everything set the way you want it and blah, 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 blah. It's just too much blah, blah, guys. Just way too much blah, blah. If you disagree or you agree, that's the cool thing. But we can disagree to agree. Trust me. So, Machine, anything else you want to add?
Nope.
And you, Winston, is there anything you would like to add?
No, there's not much there.
Okay. Well, like I said, there's just many things going on, and I don't know. My mate is a computer repairman for 20 years. And he always says if it wasn't for AMD systems, he would go broke because there are always having problems. Right. Yeah. But the thing is AMD and Intel and Nvidia and every one of these companies can always be plagued with the same problem. And truthfully, you want to know what the problem is? It's always something stupid. Believe it or not. You can show 50 million things, but it could be just one thing that's totally plain and stupid. And it'll rear its ugly head and show you what it thinks. So, The Intel gang, blue, blue, blue. Well, look, I'm going to tell you guys, I'm a fan of the hardware. I don't look at companies like everybody else does. I'm just a fan of the hardware. If the hardware is good, I'm going to tell you. If it's great, I'm going to tell you. If it's crap, I'm going to tell you. So either way, I'm going to tell you. How about that? So, that's just my thought on that. I know you guys got your own thoughts and your own ways and your own talents and your own technology, you know, in the whole 900 yards. So, I know this. So, but like I said, if the hardware will last as long as it will, then that's a good thing. But when you get software problems plaguing your hardware, it's kind of hard to pinpoint it because now you're going through every little thing trying to find the problem, and truthfully the problem fit, you know, for this, the problem was right in front of me until I turned my head, and then the problem became a bigger problem. So now it's all caught up and it's not a big problem anymore. So let's see what you guys got to let's see what you guys got to say. Dakota says, I paid more for less performance. Only need a $1,500 in a cooler to keep it warm. So you paid $1,500 more for a cooler that wasn't worth 2 cents. Wow. Just a lot of thoughts. Only need a $1,500 cooler to keep it warm. I know. I keep reading that because I need a $3,000 cooler just to keep it cool. I'm just being honest with you about that. Cyborg says, if it's 50 FPS slower, who cares as long as it's rock solid? True. As long as it doesn't stutter and it doesn't artifact and it keeps rocking nonstop. Where's the problem? It's the user now. It's not the companies. It's the user that's the error. Nobody wants to talk about that. Nobody wants to talk about the fact of the way people use their graphics cards when it comes to display settings. Sometimes just sometimes when you rock the display settings, you just rock it a little too hard. Back off a little bit. Let the hardware breathe. Okay, there you go. Let the hardware breathe. And the only way it's going to breathe is if you give it leeway to breathe. If you don't balance your GPU and you don't balance your CPU, guess what? You have instability. So even if your display settings look correct to you, but they run like dog do, guess what? That dog do is on you because you did the settings. So you decide which way you want to run your PC. And if it doesn't look good, then you take the consideration of the eyes, look, the eye of the professionals. And you take it to a professional, have them look at it and say, okay, this is what you got going on, and this is what you should do. as far as your settings on your graphics card. It could be the most stupidest thing. It could be the most stupid and senseless thing. And you just don't see it. Because when it's too late and it's the end of the day and you done spent another $1,000 to get another GPU and it's still doing the same thing, you really think that's the graphics card fault? No, that's the user fault. So I don't blame any user. I just say it as truth. The way I use my graphics card is sensible. It looks good at the same time, so I'm not complaining. I'm happy with what I have. And I know you guys are going to keep knocking at it. Well, it's not 16 gigabytes of VRAM. So what? I'm only using 6.5 to 7 gigabytes per second. So, hey, Winston and Machine, I'll be right back in a minute, guys.
Okay.
You good?
Hey, Winston, how's the storyline?
Okay, there we go. I'll let them, do their personal thing in there because, they got a personal thing because I got to finish out the live stream. So, but we will get back to their discussion in Discord. So if you want to be a part of that discussion, then, you can always join our Discord. And if you want to be in the Discord, then all you got to do is say, hey, send me a link and we'll send you a link. So, guys, anyway, I'm going to go ahead and call it quits for the evening because I'm starting to feel like I'm dragging. I haven't been feeling my best, but I am here tonight with you guys, rocking right along. The PC lasted, but here is a little clue for you. I have, and I know I told Machine I wasn't going to do this, I have a little bit of a surprise coming up and another live stream, and you better hold your hats. This is gonna be the longest live stream I've ever done ever on this channel at one time. This is the live stream that's gonna be starting early in the morning. And it's going to go all the way to the end of the day. I can't tell you what it is, but it's coming, and it's coming soon. So you best buckle up your pants, get your shoes tied, and get your shoe shine on, because we got a lot cooking, and we got a lot more coming up. And you'll see. Sure enough. Yeah, I know. I'm not trying to fall asleep, bro. I'm not trying to fall asleep. But anyway, I am going to try to get off of the live stream. And I want to thank you all for being here this evening. And also, too, I do appreciate every one of my subscribers, my viewers, and everything else. Even if you don't subscribe to the channel, I do understand. I mean, yeah, you might not understand some of my videos and, the way I am. I'm just being me. I'm not going to change me. I'm being me. So if you don't like me, you don't like me, then, it's just me. You want to help support the channel? Hit the subscribe button. Let's do it right. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. Don't forget about the notification bell so you know when I post the next video. And don't forget, on the live stream, you can hit the like button as well. That tells YouTube somebody likes the video. Even if it's a live stream, tells YouTube somebody likes the live stream. If you keep hitting the negative button, then YouTube's going to give me the finger and tell me my videos are only going to go out to selected group. And you know the selected group is? The viewers, or the subscribers. I don't get any new viewers. I don't get anybody extra to come to the channel. We want more people to come to the channel. Guys, push the word out. Tell them here is the place to be. Here is the place to be. And if you guys don't want to be here, like I said, it's your call. But I want you to be here. I want more of you guys to be here. I want to grow the community into the millions. That doesn't mean I'm not going to pay attention to every one of my viewers or subscribers or anything else, because I always going to pay attention to everybody. Regardless of what everybody else says, I can care less, but whatever. You guys know the drill. But anyway, it's been a long-hearted talk, and I do enjoy you guys' vote of confidence and your participation every time we have our live stream here on the channel. I know they're last minute, but for right now, it keeps it exciting, because that way it means that you're waiting for that next live stream to come up. And believe it or not, when it does pop up, be ready, because the next one that's going to be coming up, be ready. That's all I'm going to tell you. It's going to be a long one, and I'm not kidding about long one. I'm going to have enough energy drinks to keep me going through all of it. So, if you guys don't want to watch a 12-hour to 14-hour maybe live stream, I don't know. You guys gotta be there to help support the channel, man. We're gonna be talking about everything. So, I can tell you that. I can't tell you what it is or what we're gonna be doing, but I can tell you it's gonna be a long day. But anyway, I'm gonna jump out of here, and I want to thank everybody for being here. It's much appreciated as well. So, until the next time and the next video or live stream, you know who it is, and we'll see you on the next one.